Hey everyone, welcome to another video review. Well, of course, this is the third part of the Liokaiser set, and this we're focusing on, well, the flyers. Well, except for Leozak, I guess. So yeah, you got, in order from left to right, Gaihawk, Deathcobra, and I guess Ellbat. Because they couldn't use Hellbat. Not because of weird things, you can't say hell, but because apparently, I think it was when McFarlane Toys has a trademark on the name Hellbat, so can't use it. Although I think that I still wish they could have just called him Heckback, just because that would have been funnier. But anyway, yeah, you can see here, yeah, two jets and a helicopter. These are more or less their flyers slash, well, the arms for Liokaiser, and that's why they call them. That's why I'm doing all three at once, because that's the other thing is, well, they also share a lot of engineering together, and including Deathcobra, they have a lot in common. Deathcobra, yeah, pretty much. So yeah, that's why they're all being done together. Yeah, I'm babbling. Regardless. Getting in close here, because in alt mode, because again, that's all the package. You get Gaihawk here, you got, well, it's kind of a vaguely F-15-esque sort of jet thing. And of course, also very pink, with some white and yellow wings with the little Decepticon symbols right there, the orange cockpit. Got a little landing gear and everything. And yeah, he's not too bad looking, got some detailing in there. And of course, yeah, you can see the robot just kind of right there, including the head. It's just all pretty obvious how this guy works. And yeah, Ellbat, I'm probably going to be swapping between Ellbat and Hellbat, so just bear with me. He's pretty much a yellow, there's blue jet with some yellow and white wings, and again, some Decepticon single tail fin and red cockpit, and kind of more closer resembling a F-16. And again, you can see the robot just chilling underneath, and it's pretty obvious you got the landing gear and all that stuff, and yeah, you got, again, some detailing right there. And of course, Deathcobra, the seventh almost member of the team. Yeah, he's a helicopter. I can't remember. I think it's a Russian Hind, if I recall, or Soviet Hind at the time. Yellow cockpit paint right there. You got some little stubby wings and everything, kind of, I guess, intakes possibly for the arms. And yeah, the legs are folded up a bit differently. And yeah, because of that, you also tail fin and everything, and here's a tail rotor. And yeah, this is always packaged in the box with no rotor, because you have to add that. Which, speaking of, for accessory stuff, yep, here's Deathcobra's rotor. It's you can see this is an offset thing. And that just plug, there's two pegs. You get the bigger peg, you just plug that in right here. Now he's got a rotor, which it spins decently. You know, it's got spin. That's the tail rotor's got a decent spin. He also comes with a little gun, which that attaches right here. Now he's got the little gun right there. Front of the helicopter, and there you go. The only thing about him is, because unlike them, they sit nicely because of the landing and everything. He doesn't have that, so it's kind of just, he just sits funny. He always, you know, sits like that because, well, the way the feet fold up, they can't really go anywhere, so that's how he sits. You know, it's not too bad looking, I guess, although kind of weirdly pudgy. So there is that, no rolling or anything. But of course, the other accessories are, well, the chest masters, chest animals, chest masters, pressed master, pressed animal, whatever you want to call them. Of course, you got Gaihawks right here, which is well, it's a hawk. You can see right there. You got Hellbats right here, which is clearly a bat, and you got Deathcobra, which is clearly, well, a cobra. And yeah, they have very simple transformations. Well, unfold the head there and unfold the wings, and you're done for this one. And same thing, just unfold the wings and unfold the head, and you're done. And with Deathcobra, you unfold the tail and unfold the head, and you're supposed to just have it like this, but it doesn't really set up properly like this, so I do this a little bit just to help give it a little more balance, and then you're done. So that's those are the animals. Very simple, very, very simple. Way more simple than the other four. And with articulation with these guys, it's just pretty simple. He can go, it can look up a bit, but it's very clicky. You got the flapping wings, and that's about it. He's also got flapping wings, but they can only flap down, and his head can only look down. You can make him stand like this too, like that if you want, with him. And Deathcobra, you got, well, the head can look up and down a bit, mostly down. And you got this hinge right here, these hinges right here. So yeah, really not a whole lot going on there, but there you go. And attaching them is pretty simple as well. You're just folding that all up. Yeah, attach that, you just fold that up, and you got this peg right here, if you don't drop it. The peg right here, which can just peg in right there. And there's plenty of clearance with the landing gear and everything. You can see, yeah, plenty of clearance, so you don't have to worry about that. So, getting these all transformed up. And yep, same thing. They all well, these two peg in the exact same way, just same peg and everything, peg hole. He's a little different, but not really that much. It's still the same general area, but instead of that little peg, you peg it in up here because the clearance. And there you go. All of them with their chest animals and everything. So pretty straightforward. That pretty nice overall. I guess you can adjust how those sit. They are, I recall, they're supposed to be angled down a bit, but yeah. And yeah, that's it for them, I guess, in vehicle mode. So yeah, measurement stuff. Gaihawk, his length is 7 inches or 17.8 centimeters. His wingspan is 5 3/4 inches, is 14.6 centimeters, and his weight is 4.4 ounces, or 126 grams. Ellbat is 7 inches long, or 17.8 centimeters as well. His wingspan is 5 inches, or 12.7 centimeters, and his weight is 4.3 ounces, or 122 grams. He's slightly lighter. Then you got Deathcobra, who is in this. His length is 8 1/4 inches, or 20.9 centimeters. He's the longest of them. That includes the gun. His rotor span, this thing right here, the rotor span of this rotor is roughly 7.5 inches, or 19 centimeters. And his weight is 4.6 ounces, or 130 grams. So there's that. Oh yeah, by the way, if you've been wondering why I haven't been offering the weight on the chest animals, it's because my scale just reads 0 when I know they're not weightless. So yeah, it's just they're light enough my scale can't really register them very well. But it keeps bouncing between about 0 to 0.02 ounces. So yeah, they're not very heavy. That's what happened. His nose cone up. So yeah, some quick comparisons. Let's start with Gaihawk real quick. Comparisons with him. Namely, here is his Iron Factory version, whatever the heck it's called. I don't remember. It's kind of more of an F-22-esque thing. Also just a fold-up robot underneath. So there's that. And his Combiner Wars iteration, which is weird because it's more of an F-14 looking thing, which is interesting. Also, this isn't quite... Yeah. So there's that for him. And then for Ellbat, bring him in real quick. Here's his, again, his Iron Factory version right there. Same general principle, I guess. Here's his Combiner Wars iteration. Okay. No, he doesn't. I was going to say, I could have sworn he had a landing gear, but no, he doesn't. That. And of course, for Deathcobra, there's only one comparison here because we'll only have one other Deathcobra because there's only 3 in existence. Here's the Iron Factory version, which is arguably probably much more cohesive as a helicopter in general, but yeah, although, whoops, I forgot something. Wings should be out. There we go. There we go. So, there you go. Now, transformation for Gaihawk and Ellbat, the transformation is identical. There is literally no difference between them transformation-wise other than the tail fins, which I'll mention real quick. Deathcobra's got a little bit different, but he's got a lot of similar stuff. So I'll put Deathcobra later, but for now, I'll just transform Gaihawk on camera. Yeah, first thing is just take this and fold that up. You're going to have to also remove the breast animal because it's going to have to pop off for this. You take the tail fin here and just pop those up. Take these and untab those and bring those up right there. Take the nose cone and untab that and bring it back. And this tab will go in that little slot right there, like so. And then you go ahead and take the legs here. You want to separate that and just bring this down. That's why you need to remove the breast animal because it's going to pop off right here. Bring that down right there. So then you can take this right here at the legs. You want to go ahead and bring the toes up right here, and then take this right here and move this down like this until it clicks into place. Then separate the legs like so. On this side, you want to go ahead and then untab the outer shell of the leg. You can see right there, outer shell untabs. Bring it down right here. Tab that in right there, like that, and that's one leg done. And then this side, you open up this panel. So open up this panel. There we go. Open up this panel, and then also extend the leg out. Bring it out on the hinge, bring it out and up, and then extend it, tab it back in, and then close this up right there. You can go ahead and bring this back right there, like that. And then right here, the arms, you can go ahead and bring them out, untab them from the side, and bring the fists out right here, like so. and like so. And then go ahead and take the head and turn that around. And you go ahead and reattach the chest animal, and you're good to go with Gaihawk right there. And again, with him, the only difference is you got to split the tail fin. That's it. Everything else is identical. So I'll do that real quick. Great. So that's these two done. Again, it's identical mostly, although the order of operations might be a little different because of stuff. Also I want to note that Ellbat here, the big problem with him is for whatever reason, this part, when you separate it from the rest, when you separate the legs from the rest of the fuselage, it just kind of doesn't want to. It tabs in real good, but yeah, so there's those two real quick. And then of course, Deathcobra has a lot in common, but yeah, for him, what you want to do is remove the rotor here. You're going to have to, and remove the breast animal, chest animal, yeah, remove those and put those out the side. And then right here, what you want to do is take the tail rotor and untab it and bring it up like that to get out of the way. Untab the legs here, like this, untab them from the bottom, like that. And then right here, you can see the thighs. You'll tab the thighs into each other, you know. Probably in the process, probably have to just untab this because it makes it easier. Yeah, so tab them in like that, and you can see like that, and straighten out the legs like here. Take the toes and bring them out like that. And right here, what you need to do is, they're already pre-extended, but what you need to do is you have to open this up so you can then get in here and flip the heel out, because he's going to need this support. Close that back up. And then here you have to untab this and bring this out a bit, just to get out of the way. So you can get in there and bring the heel out like that, and then close it back up like that. So, and then right here, you want to go ahead and bring this down, so you can then rotate this around like here, and then bring it back like that. Go ahead and take the tail rotor. I like to flip these up, you don't have to, and then bring it down like that. It kind of acts as a support as well. Right here, you can then take these wing bits and just extend it back like so. Bring these out, untabbing them, and then bring out the fists like that. And like so, just like the rest of them. And then yeah, right here, go ahead and take this and untab this and bring it back, and probably bring the head with it. And this is where things get a little tricky. This right here, you're supposed to take the head on this platform, bring it forward. And there's a tab here, which is supposed to tab in here. It doesn't work very well. At least not on mine. This seems to be a fairly common issue, which is for some reason Deathcobra just doesn't work. His tabbed head does not like to tab in. And yeah, it's a little annoying. I've heard some people say it's easy, you know, there's been several tricks. Some people use a spudger. Some people say, you know, before you tab this in, try to do it beforehand. And yeah, it's just, on mine, it does not want to tab in. It feels like I'm going to, you know, hurt myself before it actually tabs in. Let's see if I'm going to use a spudger. There we go, got a spudger in there. Yeah, so I have used a spudger. Some have also said theirs is fine. So yeah, it seems to be very common though. So that's the thing. But yeah, there's that tab, goes in that slot right there, like that. And you're going to take this right here and plug this back in to the chest. And on top of that, take the rotor here, and you want to just kind of bring it, you know, kind of collapse it like this. It's just like the hinges right here. We'll collapse it down like that. And then take this smaller peg and peg it in right here. Like that. And with that, you have Deathcobra transformed, which means you now have all three of the arm bots transformed. And yeah, you can see the three of them there. It's not bad. Again, the transformation is very simple, you know, with Deathcobra kind of being the most complicated, just because this just, you know, they took the functionally what was the same mold and did quite a bit to what could have been exactly the same, and kind of did quite a bit to change it up a bit. But yeah. The three arm guys you see right there getting in close. Yeah, you can see, of course, Gaihawk's got the kind of the, you know, the hawk kind of helmet, bird beak helmet thing, got the red eyes and everything. You got, of course, this stuff right here, the pink and pretty much just pinks and whites, the little Decepticons there, a little bit of black there, a little bit of yellow there, all the way down. You got, of course, quite the backpack, because just how he is, and same with Ellbat. Very nice head sculpt with, you know, the bat helmet thing with the red eyes, actually double set of red eyes, and again the bat for the chest, and blue and white with some splashes of yellow. Again, quite the backpack and everything. And yeah, it looks pretty decent as well. And of course, Deathcobra is pretty much just green, and more green, and some bits of yellow here and there, and some white and gray as well. And of course, he's got the worst of the backpack. But the whole idea here is it's supposed to be kind of a snake tail. So, yeah, I guess it works. But yeah. That's pretty much your lot. You know, they look pretty good overall, I feel. Maybe this one, I think with Gaihawk, he kind of looks like he got a weirdly small head, but yeah. But they generally look pretty good. But yeah, as articulation stuff, gonna just focus on Ellbat, because yeah, Ellbat, once again, all of them pretty much have identical articulation. The Ellbat here, you got the heads on the ball, you got left and right, you got up and down, you got a little bit of wiggle, not a whole lot. Mostly just kind of, for mine, you just kind of snap back. You get, of course, full 360 here at the shoulders. Well, you have to be mindful of stuff. You got outward right there, only goes about that far out before it stops, at least on him. You do have a biceps swivel right there. You can see right there, you got a elbow bend, which, you know, goes more than 90 degrees. The wrists are on ball joints, so you do have wrist swivel and it go a little bit inward if you need that for whatever reason. The waist swivel is weird. You have to kind of bring it forward a little bit, and then, yeah, because there is technically an ab crunch there, a ratcheted ab crunch because of reasons. You have to bring it a little forward a little bit, and then you get that. Well, the waist swivel is actually kind of more of an ab swivel. So yeah, you got that weirdness. And well, because of the arm thing, you also have this, so you can go sideways. You go sideways quite a bit. So you do have that. That's for the combined mode, but yeah, the swivel's up here. And the problem is, yeah, you push it too far forward, and yeah, that comes off. So that's a bit of a problem there. So you get more. You basically get a lot of ab crunch, actual ab crunch, and a lot of swivel, but only if you are willing to remove the chest piece. So yeah, fun times. Anyway, here at the hips, you do have forward about that far, and back is kind of limited because of, well, this stuff, at least on him. Outward, you have the, you know, splits. You do have thigh swivel right there. Knees can bend almost 90 degrees, and down here at the feet, you don't really, again, you have that weird implied ankle tilt thing. So it's just the toe that rotates, and the toe can also rotate down. So there is that, and yeah, pretty much the same thing here, although his back is a little bit less impeded. His backwards movement on the hips right there, but you know, he's got pretty much all the same stuff. And of course, Deathcobra is pretty much also the same, although I believe his shoulders aren't as quite as limited. There we go, that's the word I was looking, not quite as limited. You can stick his shoulder a bit farther out. Although with these guys, I almost forgot, you remove these, and that will get you a little bit, if you move them down, you get a lot more out. Yeah, I forgot about that. So yeah, if you move the shoulder bits out of the way, you can get a lot more out. Woo! Like a lot more. So just be mindful of that. Are you supposed to bring them down? No, actually, now I'm sitting there. Wait, am I supposed to bring them down in the first place? No. Okay. Because they had a moment of, wait, am I supposed to bring the shoulder bits down? But no, not for robot mode. Yeah, so he's got that, you know, that whole thing going on. But yeah, so you can move those shoulder vents. You can go a little bit farther. On mine, also, Deathcobra his bicep swivels are very stiff. So yeah, but he's got all the same stuff as everyone does. Although, as you can see, he's got, you know, more bend at the knee than Ellbat does, and his chest animal does not want to stay in. Am I using the wrong peg? I don't think so, because this peg will block his face. And also, yeah, because that's just weird. It doesn't want to stand very well. It's like the peg's a little too shallow. I'll get into that a little bit more later. Right, his knee bend. And he's got the same limitation as Ellbat. So, yeah. So there are some limitations here and there, but nothing too bad, honestly. Again, they still have the problem that, again, of the 7 members of this team, only one of them has true ankle tilt. So go figure on that. As for accessory stuff, well, you're looking at them right there on the chest. Again, they can unplug and just, you know, become guns. Just plug them in like that. And now I guess those are the barrels, which I believe are, at least for him, these ones, those are blast effect compatible on Gaihawks. And his, again, just unpeg that, and you flip this part out right here on him. Yeah, you flip a little bit right there on there and there, and then just, there you go. There's his gun, which that's shallow enough that is not blast effect compatible unless it's, yeah, it's just a nub. With him, what you got to do is, well, you have to flip this peg out, and then flip this gun bit out right there. And there you go. Yeah, now he's got his gun, which is not blast effect compatible. So there you go. And again, with them, they actually don't look too bad without their, yeah, they don't really have that massive crevice. So that's the nice thing. They don't have the nice massive crevice without their chest animal. But the problem is, the chest animals, is, as you can see, when you peg them in, that's it. It's just a single peg, which means it's really easy to accidentally, do that or whatever. And yeah, and because the pegs are also so shallow, they work themselves out. So yeah, they kind of attach the worst, which is annoying. They have the worst attachment of all of them, so it doesn't take much. Deathcobra in particular is really bad. It's like his peg is extra shallow comparatively, so he just barely works. And yeah, it's just they all have the problem of this. It's easy to just knock them askew and do that sort of thing. It's like whoops. So I wish there was like just some little tabs just to help solidify the connection. But it's not the end of the world, but it is a little annoying. So there you go. As for measurements in this mode, Gaihawk, up to the top of his head is 5.5 inches or 14 centimeters. And same with Ellbat, he's also 5.5, 14 centimeters. And Deathcobra is 5 5/8 inches or 14.3 centimeters. So he's slightly taller. Just ever so slightly taller. So, comparisons again. Gaihawk here. Here is Iron Factory Gaihawk. Looks wise, honestly, it's kind of this one's kind of more blocky aesthetic, and this one's very stylized, so I kind of like them both. But there you go. And here's the Combiner Wars Gaihawk, which, yeah, different shade of pink, and definitely, obviously, clearly a retool of an existing character, but not too bad for the time, but yeah, definitely pales in comparison to the new one. So there's that. So bringing in Ellbat. Here's Iron Factory Ellbat, who's standing funny for some reason. Yeah. Different shade of blue. Yeah, Iron Factory, I didn't realize it kind of used a really light shade of blue. For better or for worse. So there is that. And here's the Combiner Wars Ellbat. Well, no, actually, what do they call him? They call him Fellbat. That's right. It was weirdly tall. That was the thing. Combiner Wars Ellbat was really tall. So there's that. And finally, Deathcobra. Yeah. Only one, of course, here he is compared to the Iron Factory Deathcobra, which, yeah, between the two of them, I think this looks a little bit better, but also is a lot more fiddly. He also doesn't have an extreme of a backpack, so there is that. Oh, one thing I did forget to mention was the gun. You can just, if you want to, you can move this gun on Deathcobra and like plug it into his arm or something, or into his hand. I think that looks cool, so I might just do it like that. But yeah, you're supposed to leave it on the back of him. But yeah, you can use it as a weapon. So there is that. So that is the 3 arm bots for Liokaiser. And again, they're actually not too bad. There's a couple little problems with them. Little tiny things. Again, I'm a little disappointed with the lack of ankle tilts on pretty much almost every character. Their test animals don't stay attached very nicely in robot mode, like at all. They also move very easy. They get out of whack pretty easily. They also have some pretty egregious backpacks, but considering everything, and the transformations are very fun and simple. The alt modes are actually pretty solid looking, although Deathcobra is definitely suffers a little bit, just because it's kind of they're taking the existing jet mold and trying to adapt it to a helicopter. So yeah. They've definitely got a lot of strong points in them, but there's definitely also a couple weak points. There is that. Oh yeah, the one other thing is because of the obviously being a different arm, his waist thing goes the opposite direction. Almost forgot to mention that, but yeah. Yeah, overall they're actually pretty solid, and yeah, not my favorite. Yeah, my favorite is definitely still Leozak and Jalga, but yeah, these 3 are not too bad either. And Deathcobra is a very nice. How shall we put it? What was it though? A tier, extra tier. So yeah, not bad at all. So that's it for this review. I hope you found it informative and entertaining. I hope you like, comment, subscribe. Check out all social medias in the description and the end of the video. Check out my Ko-Fi and my Patreon. I'll see you next time with the final actual Liokaiser video.